Today, I want to talk about why many artists fail at following up professionally with interested art consultants. So, to begin with, what is an art consultant, right? Because this is a term that has a number of meanings. The one I'm talking about today is an art consultant who sells work to corporations, to hotels, to hospitals, and to residential properties, homes, right? What these people do is they're not like other types of art consultants where there's a type of art consultant that only consults with the buyer, right? Which is a collector. And that type of art consultant walks that collector through art fairs, helps build their collection, and gets them valuable works of art that are based on what they're thinking about, what their collection is. That's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about art consultants who regularly buy for hotels, hospitals, private residences, corporations, who are regularly filling up thousands of square feet of space when asked to do so. So this is a way for artists, of course, to sell a lot of work potentially. And by that, I mean it's a way for artists, potentially like yourself, to build relationships with these art consultants and have them buy from you on a regular basis. And buying from you could mean a number of things. It could mean they just like two or three works. And if it's work on paper or prints, it's even better for them because they're very easy to ship and handle lots of. They do buy original canvases, they do buy original sculptures. Those take a little more to work with because, of course, they require shipping. But they do, handle original work as well. However, the market in prints is big for them because they can look at a job like a hotel, let's say that needs 500 works of art, and 40 of them could be the same, and or whatever it is. There's a whole parameter on what it means to fill a hotel with artwork. So if they have prints work on paper, that makes it easy for them, right? They just frame it all and fill out their contract, right? Sell all the work. They also sometimes license work so that they can ask an artist, we like that work, we like that one print of your painting or a photograph, whatever it is, and we'd like you to license that to us. That means they pay you a certain amount of money so that they can then make prints of them and put it out throughout the hotel. Of course, you have to trust them to do this, right? Because they're now printing your work and selling it by the print. But typically, the biggest art consultants are very honest in this matter because if they're not, they'll be in trouble quickly. So, okay, today what I'm getting to here is the type of art consultant that I'm talking about, and the type of art consultant is one that buys work from artists that, again, they sell, the art consultant sells to corporations, hospitals, hotels, places that need tons of art when they renovate. So I want to talk about how to follow up, how to reach out, and how to follow up with these people, because this is often where communication breaks down and artists lose a valuable opportunity who are pursuing this. This is great for photographers, this is great for any kind of printmaker, and it's also great for artists who even photograph their paintings and then sell the prints. So I want to go over the process of how to reach out to these consultants, what to say, what to write, and how to manage it. So to begin with, how do you find an art consultant, right? Art consultants can be interior designers. They can be just labeled as art consultants. Though some of them, as I said, aren't the kind of art consultant you're looking for. It's the kind of art consultant that only works with one collector at a time. You want the kind of art consultant that's working with hotels, right? That's working with corporations, that sells work in bulk. So what you can do to begin with, there's really two ways to approach this. You can begin searching, right, using Google or ChatGPT or Claude. You can begin searching for art consultants who specialize in selling work, en masse, large amounts of work to corporations, public spaces, hospitals, and residences. Then you have a list, right? Maybe you have a list of 10, maybe you have a list of 20. The first thing I would do, just so you don't waste your time too much, is to call each one, ideally, or do more research, but ideally call each one and say, I'm an artist and I'm calling to ask if I can send you work for your possible use. And assuming that what you are doing, as my research has shown, is sell work to public institutions like hospitals and hotels and other places. And they'll say yes or no. That's what we do. Sure. Send us your work. And you can even say, how do you like to see it? And typically they like to see either a PDF or a website or a letter, something like that. I'm going to talk about a member of Praxis Center because that's the online platform that I co-direct. And we talk about this process a lot because several members are using it to great effect. So you can either do the research like I was saying. If you're a member of Praxis Center, we have a whole list of art consultants in there. That's already a CSV file you can just upload and use. However, that's, for members, and you don't have to be a member. Of course, you can do this on your own. That's why I'm explaining it today in this video. So the way to then approach them, the way to write a letter, the way to communicate with them is through a newsletter that goes out ideally every single week, right? Not a letter, not a one-time letter, because it's easy to write a letter and say, hi, I'm an artist and I know you're a consultant and work with firms. So I just wanted to reach out to you in case you're interested in this art. And then you don't hear from them. Or you hear once from them and they say, thanks, yeah, we don't have a project for that now. And then crickets, right? Nothing. So what's happening there, just to be clear, is consultants work on project to project. So they have a job working for a corporation. They have a job working for a hospital. They have a job working for a university, something like that, right? Each job requires a certain amount of artworks. So while they may not need your artwork right now, there's always new jobs coming up for them. There's always new jobs where they suddenly need a lot of artwork. And what you want to do is have them know your work and be aware of your work. So when a new job comes up, they think of you. So the way to do that is this. You send a newsletter once a week. It's quite simple. If you have MailChimp or another program, use it. If you don't have a kind of a newsletter program, then get one, right? They're start at $20 a month. They're pretty inexpensive, and it could result in a lot of sales the way I'm talking about. So what you do is you write a newsletter, and the newsletter should have, there could be the same format, nothing fancy, but the newsletter should start out not announcing wins or anything like that. It should start out with something warm, something that's of interest to read. Not, I had a show here and here, and I'm just letting you know an update on my work. And not that. Something that really grabs the reader. Something about spring arriving. Something about fall or summer. Something about, inspirational, about meditation or flowers or anything you want, whatever you are interested in. But something that is valuable to everybody, independent of whether they want to use your art or not. Words that are meaningful. That's what pulls people in, right? That's what makes you read, articles that are good. That's often what clickbait is, right? Words that somehow pull you in, that make you think, wow. But instead of it being something kind of shallow, like, this one weird trick will help you do this, obviously, don't use clickbait-like terms. Be as real and as genuine, as authentic as you can. You can talk about struggles, you can talk about achievements, but they should be something that people can then apply universally, right? Inspiration, poetry, love. These are all great topics to start off a newsletter with. And again, it could be a movie you saw, a book you're reading. It could start off with a quote of a poet you like or a philosopher. All of that is good. And again, I'm not talking about writing a lot here. I'm talking about just a few lines, really, that start off the newsletter. And what that does is it gets the person that opens this to think, oh, that's nice. I like that. And what else? So you start off your newsletter like that, always the same every week, with a different quote, a different topic to begin with. And then you tell them a little bit about your art. Say, this week I've added such and such to my website. If you're interested, have a look. All these prints are available, and you can contact me using the contact tab. That's it. Really simple. Really, really simple. And then you give a link to your website. And your website should be nice and clean so they don't have to dig through multiple years of work. There should be one page where you have all your images. In the case of one member, Alan Bale in Praxis, he's a photographer, would have a link to one of his images, a page of images. And that's how they see your work every week. So it's not a letter requesting something, it's a newsletter that literally goes out every single week. Does that sound like too much to write? I know you probably think, I don't want to send out too much. People will drive them crazy. But with art consultants, it won't drive them crazy because they're always working on new projects. And if you want your work to remain at the top of their consciousness, at the top of their pile of artists, so to speak, send out a newsletter once a week. Otherwise, they're going to forget, right? They saw your letter a while ago, they put it in a folder of artists I like, but then they got to dig through that whole folder to remember who you were. Just send a newsletter once a week. Alan Bale, the one that's doing this in Praxis, there are others that are doing it too, Linda Braun, several others. Alan is in his 70s, right? I mention this because, late 70s, because it's not like he's some social media pro. It's not like he loves sending out emails all the time and following up with them. He is someone who likes what he's doing, right? He likes the photographs he's making, and he sends out these newsletters on a regular basis, usually about once a week, sometimes more, sometimes less. He's obviously just running on what thought he comes across that week. But his newsletter has the same format. So every week, all he has to do is plug in that little quote, say a few words, and he's off, right? The newsletter is ready to go. So that's why this format that I'm explaining to you is a way to reach out to art consultants every single week. Either you research them on your own and just ideally call them up to make sure they're the kind of art consultants that buy art, or if you're a Praxis member, like Alan is, you can get the whole list in Praxis and just upload it into your mail program. That's up to you if you want to do that. But what I wanted to stress today was the way to follow up, the way to not fail at following up is don't send an art consultant an email asking them to look at your art or if they're interested. And when you don't get a response, assume that they don't like your work, because that's the bottleneck. That's not because they don't like your work. It's because they don't have a project right now in this moment that would fit your work. What they need is an email, a newsletter from you every single week. That will work. It's what numerous artists, again, in Praxis Center are using, whether they use our list or not, to make sales. And, many artists who are using it and also doing the licensing, when that happens in Praxis Center, and someone said, yeah, I just licensed this image to this, consultant, and they made, 50 prints, and I got $50 a print, which of course adds up significantly. Praxis members tend to say, hey, how did you do that? What happened? And, Praxis is a very warm center. It's a community of generous artists. And the artist explains, this is how it works. This is who I call. This is what I do. And after a while, you build a relationship with these people, right? They buy 2 or 3 works from you, or maybe 4 or 5, or like in the situation I just mentioned, 50 prints of the same thing. They get to know you. And as they get to know you and you send them the file or the print quickly, you build up a relationship of trust, right? They trust you, they like you ideally, and that's all part of it, right? We're dealing with people. The world isn't AI talking to itself, or at least not yet. It's people talking to people and needing to trust one another. And so, when you write often, and once you do a few projects with some of these consultants, they will have a relationship with you that's built on trust and what's real. And that's what allows them to keep working with you and wanting to keep working with you. Because people like Alan and others in Praxis Center, when the process works, they repeat it, so it continues to work. So if you have any questions, just ask in the comments below. I'll respond. And thanks for watching this. I'd strongly suggest you try this out, because even if you just do it with the research method and you're not a Praxis member, it will yield results. But the critical thing here is to have a newsletter, a formatted newsletter that is largely the same, and you change a quote and a first sentence every week, and it goes out. And again, you don't have to send this to all your friends. If you're worried about people getting too many emails, this only goes to the art consultant list. And again, these are people that want to hear from you. They're always looking for new artists. So that's all for now. Again, if you have any questions, just ask. I wish you well.